Antoine, can we go through your Instagram really quick and let me ask you a few questions about some of the stuff that I've seen?
Yeah, of course.
So I did want to talk to you about fretting into the body. I mean, fretting rosewood, I mean, pretty challenging. Fretting into spruce and purfling, what are some if this ever comes up in my shop, I need to know kind of things about that.
Didn't run across much problem. Well, I use hide glue to fix the fret in place.
Okay.
They're glued there. So the hardest part to do is onto the top when there's no bunny on it under the frets. Because you don't have the solidity that ebony gives to the structural aspect.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't hammer the frets in place. Sometimes they're really loose into the little ebony parts that is engraved there.
So this is the builder here, Joseph Coffey.
Yeah.
And Meyercourt, that's is that German?
No, that's French. That's the
French?
town.
Okay. That's the town that we talked about earlier. Okay.
Yeah.
So glue, and is that standard nickel silver fret wire that we would get from like Jescar or Sumac, or is that a?
Yeah, that's what I use. At the time, it was way softer than that. There were more silver in the frets. But those are a nightmare to work because it's way too soft.
Yeah.
It's used way too fast for my tastes. So I prefer to use modern nickel, the same size.
Yeah, that's really saying something about the softness of the fret wire if you can wear it with the lowest tension nylon strings that you've ever seen. So, and of course, here we've got like something that just gives me anxiety to look at, like that neck joint. I don't know what to say. Like, how long have you thought about that particular style of neck joint?
Well, I fix them a lot. But it's pretty easy to neck reset them.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, it's flat, so if there is a fretboard, I don't even unglue the fretboard from the top.
Yeah.
I unglue the neck joint parts and go with sandpaper. I correct the angle.
Is detaching that, is that just a like a end grain joint between the block and the heel there, or is there something more to that?
It depends of the time. Sometimes it's the V shape is inlaid in the guitar about the spacing of the sides. Sometimes it's glued directly to the sides, as they did with Manouche guitar. They did that away. Sometimes, well, the German were using a dovetail. The Spanish were using the Spanish neck junction, which is the hardest to neck reset, and the French was flat on flats.
So was there any, when they had the sides glued, was there any kind of taper, like a slip joint, like a dovetail, or was it flat as well?
Flat as well.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that doesn't seem crazy. Are you using hide glue with these, or is this going back together with something a little bit more modern?
I only use hide glue.
Okay.
Yeah, the strongest 315.
315.
Yeah.
Where are you getting yours from?
B&H.
B&H.
Yeah, I'm not sure the name, but BT and C. Brooklyn Tool.
And so, oh, Brooklyn Tool, yeah, I get dies from them. So this is
this is not
that happens too, huh?
Yeah.
So is this a lyre instrument back here?
It's a lyre guitar. It was a trend in the early 19th century.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I didn't. It was a really fast trend, about 10 to 15 years. Yeah, it's hard to play.
I can imagine. Well, it is a double cutaway, so that you got the ease of getting up.
You got no ease with that. The corn are in the way always.
What's happening here?
That's a Martin.
Oh, window. You got a high gloss on there.
Yeah, that's a Martin.
So this is something that we see a lot, and we see it from time to time too, but these crazy, like it's instinctual to kind of call them mustache bridges, but they're not really mustache bridge. But this kind of detail that's on a lot of the guitars that you're dealing with, first of all, what's that called? Is there like
it's called
proper name?
Vines.
Vines?
Yeah, like the wine vines, the production, the plant. I'm not sure how to spell it in English.
Was this something, Martin, a lot of their marquetry was kind of like marquetry that was produced in a factory, and then they would buy it. Was this something that the luthier was producing on their own, or was this marquetry that somebody could buy from a catalog?
It was made by someone else than the luthier, mostly in French people. There was producer of this Vines mustache and purfling. The engraved guitar that I showed you earlier one was made by all the engraving work was made by someone else than the luthier.
Mm-hmm. So this, when this comes up, if this stuff is missing, are you sitting down with a scroll saw and reproducing this stuff, or does that come up very often?
I'm reproducing it.
Holy moly! I mean, that just gives me, again, anxiety. Was that glued to the finish or to the spruce?
To the spruce.
To the spruce.
Both
cool.
Them doesn't have most finish. A lot of finish on the top. It's really thin shellac with wax on it. Not the top were not gloss.
Was that done with a brush or with pad?
I think they were pad. I use a pad. I don't use a brush.
Oh yeah, French polish. That's right.
Yeah, shellac. Yeah.
So here's some more. This is a different detail, but that's pretty serious engraving too, right?
Pretty serious, yeah. The black is lamp black.
Yeah.
Which so the mother of pearl is engraved, and all the black is filling.
So once again, that would have been they would have banged out, some little factory somewhere would have been banging out those those inlays, and they would have just gotten a whole bunch of them and cut a rosette pattern and just kind of made put them in until they were done.
Yeah,
that's
the guitar to have it done on it.
Mm-hmm.
Since it was all in the same town.
Oh, okay. That's pretty dark looking stuff. Is that cedar, or is that spruce?
That's spruce with a lot of dirt that went into the finish.
That's cool.
Sometimes the dirt really sticks to the finish. And it gives that cool pattern.
Yeah. So you would, that's not something that you would go after. That's just like, that's the playware of the instrument. You're done with it, or?
I didn't. I let it as it were.
Yeah.
Put a bit finish on the work, on the user.
So I keep seeing this chisel. Is this your primary chisel?
Yeah, it's my favorite one.
That's your bench chisel. What is that?
The Japanese chisel made by Kyoisa. That's another one.